Hello, everyone. My name is Kyle Alexander, and I'm sitting here with three-star recruit Marlowe X. Marlowe, how are you?
How you doing?
Good. So today I'm just going to ask you different questions on how you started getting into football and what brought you to MSJ and your commitment to Syracuse.
Right.
So when did you first start playing football, and what made you decide that you wanted to play?
I first started playing football. I was 5 years old back then. My father, he was one of those ones. He just wanted me to play a sport, and when I played the sport, I just fell in love with it. It was just very fun, and I do it for the rest of my life.
All right. So your father was big on you playing multiple sports growing up?
Yes, that's definitely. He was one of those that he didn't want none of his kids to just sit in the house, play video games. He always wanted me out and doing stuff like that.
All right. So when your father got you into different sports, which of those sports helped you best with football?
I probably would say wrestling because of toughness and stuff like that, and also basketball because of quickness and all that. All those helped me for football.
All right. And your sophomore year at St. Joe, we had a senior running back, and he unfortunately went down with a broken leg. So what was your initial reaction when coach made you the starter?
Yeah, so after that tragic loss, I just knew that since we was a young team, I just knew I had to step up and become one of those players that had to be a leader and stuff like that. I just knew that I had to put the team on my back and go win some games.
Which you had a good season that year?
Thank you.
Marlowe, you received 7 different school offers, but out of those 7, what made you decide that Syracuse was the right choice for you?
Yes, definitely. Syracuse, it just, every time talking to them, it just felt like it was a different type of love. Just the way they interact with my mother, she just loved the school, loved the coaches and everything. I just feel like they really wanted me to be on their team.
Yeah. Good luck with Syracuse. And now you play running back and linebacker, correct?
Yes, sir.
So out of those 2 positions, which do you prefer to play and why?
Really, I love them both. I've been playing both my whole life. I just feel like I can't really pick yet. I just love being on the field, love making plays. I don't really know which one I would choose yet.
But you make plays on both sides.
Right.
And what NFL running back or which NFL running back and which NFL linebacker, past or present, would you compare your play style to and why?
Right now, I probably compare myself to the young guy, Devin White, is a rookie on the Buccaneers, probably because of his quickness and stuff like that. And also, he played running back in high school just like me. And running back, probably Todd Gurley because his ability to catch out the backfield, make people miss, and I just feel like I do the same thing on the field.
Plus, you can run over people if you need to. And if you got drafted by any NFL team, which team would you want to get drafted to and why?
Probably first, it wouldn't matter, just the opportunity to play in the NFL. But definitely the Ravens, probably play for my home team, play in front of my family.
All right, maybe play running back in that backfield with Lamar, make some plays.
Yeah.
And last question, as a senior here, what is your number 1 goal for your last ride at Mount St. Joe? And what is your main goal for your college career?
Definitely. For here, since my last year, I got to win a championship at Mount St. Joe's. That's a feeling that I haven't felt in a long time. And definitely at Syracuse, win is a big thing for me. Winning championships, stuff like that. Win conferences and stuff like that. Win games, a lot of games. And maybe after that, get drafted, play for an NFL team.
All right. So that's it for this part of the interview. And thank you for your time. Good luck with the rest of the year.
Thank you.
All right, this is the second part of the interview where I'm sitting here with Coach Hoser. Coach, how are you?
Good. How are you doing, Kyle?
I'm doing pretty good. Now, I'm just going to ask you a couple questions. I just previously interviewed Marlowe, so I'm just going to ask you a couple questions on your recruitment with him.
Sure thing.
And how you've seen him. So, back in 2016, what did you see in Marlowe that made you say we need him at MSJ right now?
To be honest, it was actually not his athletic ability; it was his personality. I just thought he was a good fit for the school. So I actually met him first before actually seeing any film on him or anything like that, and I thought he was just a great kid and great fit for the school, and his family was as well. And then I saw his film, and I saw his ability to cut and things like that. He had been playing offensive line at times, and I knew he wasn't going to be playing offensive line. So, I figured we could get him in here, and he'd be a linebacker or a running back.
I think you made the right call.
Yep.
And back in his sophomore year, when senior running back Sam went down with a broken leg, what was it about Marlowe that made you say he should be the starter?
Marlowe was kind of Sam's blocking back at the time, and I knew Marlowe had the potential because he was very athletic, and he was starting at outside linebacker at the time, and you saw how dynamic he was at outside linebacker, and I figured he could make the transition. And also his position, we had plenty of players. So we had a lot of depth. So we could afford to move Marlowe off of defense and not miss a beat. So those were the two driving factors.
Now, this is Marlowe's senior year. So out of these 4 years, how have you seen him growing on and off the field?
Well, he's become a complete player on the field. He plays linebacker. He plays running back. The other thing that he's shown this year specifically, as opposed to last year, is he's learned to develop himself so that he never has to leave the field. He's probably in the best shape of his life right now, and a lot of that is a credit to him because he goes out after practice and does sprints on his own to make sure that he's in shape. From the time he was here just off the field and academically, he's always been a good student, but you've seen him grow up from kind of like a goofy, incoming ninth grader to a leader within the school.
Mm-hmm. So you would say, when you say he was conditioning, so you say he has a good work ethic? Yeah,
he's kind of developed a tremendous drive over the years, and I think that's going to serve him well when he goes to college.
All right. Now, speaking of college, what would you say? What would you say is his best part as running back and linebacker, and what would you say are some things he needs to prove on as he gets ready for the next level?
Yeah, sure. Running back, I think right now he needs to just get used to getting back in the groove as a full-time running back, if that's what they're going to have him play. Running back's one of those things you have to do it over and over and over again because it's more of a, with the way college offenses are now, it's not like, running a play to the right, you need to go to the right A-gap. A hole, Now it's kind of like, well, you could go here, but if the defenders react this way, you're going to go here. So it's more of a feel thing than anything, and he just needs to get back into that groove. Linebacker, he just needs to be ready for the speed and physicality of the game at the college level. It doesn't matter who you are when you walk on to the field for the first time as a Division I athlete. I know this was my experience. The first time you get hit, you're kind of shocked because you didn't realize people really hit that hard. Yeah. So I think that's going to be the biggest transition that he's going to need to focus on for next year. And then just be ready to balance all the time commitments because when people think college is fun, and it is, it's also a business. And he needs to be ready to balance academics, football and everything. And people don't, want to hear any excuses. They just want you to get it done.
Mm-hmm. So what would you say are the best parts about his game as a running back and linebacker?
As a running back, I would say right now it used to be he was so smooth. He doesn't look like he's running fast, but he actually is. He just runs effortlessly. Mm-hmm. And then linebacker, he's just got a nose for the football. He's got something that you can't teach. He knows where to be, when to be there instinctively, which you don't find that. You either have it or you don't as a football player. And I think those are the two big parts of his game. And one of them you can't even teach.
Mm-hmm. And the last question is, when you see him play, and you see that film, which NFL players do you think that he resembles?
That's interesting. Running back wise, I think he's almost resembles kind of, I would have to say, Marshawn Lynch. He's a little bit bigger. He's still explosive, but Lynch was so smooth when he ran the ball, and that's kind of how Marlowe is. From a linebacker position, I don't know if it's going to continue this way in college, but I'm going old school. He reminds me of Lawrence Taylor. I grew up in New York. Lawrence Taylor was an icon in New York. He plays everywhere. He blitzes. He's all over the place. And that was one of the things about Lawrence Taylor's game is you never knew where he was going to line up, what gap he was going to blitz, or whether he was going to drop. And that's kind of what Marlowe does.
Yeah, we've seen that this year.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so that is it for this interview. Coach, thank you for your time.
Cool. Thanks, Kyle. Appreciate it.
All right, and good luck for the rest of the season.
Thank you. Appreciate it.